Hello, this is Paul from Proeye Communications and Security Systems, and here we're going to show you how to assemble our parabolic grid antenna. So this is a full parabolic grid antenna. So I'll just name the components. So this is the reflector. So the reflector is about 83 centimeters wide, and it's just one piece made out of welded aluminium tubing and other bits and pieces. I'll just show you closely. There you are. Okay. Then we have our feed. Just take this out of the packet. So that is our feed. Okay, and you'll see there it's also got the up, which is there. Okay. Then you'll see there's 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and that I'll go through it with you when we set it up, is basically to slide in and out of the antenna for the focus to optimize the signal. Okay, then we've got our feed holder, and you'll see there's 2 holes on the side. Okay, so those 2 holes, we look at the parabolic reflector. I'll show you. Those holes will be facing basically perpendicular to the lines of the tubes, which also sets the polarity of the feed. Okay, then we have our mounting bracket. So these are the mounting bracket pieces. So we've got our L bracket, we've got our articulating rings, we've got our inner articulating ring, and we've got basically our stainless steel bolts and nylock screws. We've got just the locking pins for the feed, so I'll leave them with the feed. Then over here we've got U-bolts. There's the nuts, washers, and these are called V-blocks. So, okay, and then we've also got a rubber grommet for the feed. Okay, the tools that we're just using just a couple of shifting spanners. And for this task, I've just brought some wrenches. So these ones are multi-size. So they go, the smallest one I've got here goes from 8 millimeters up to 10 millimeters. And we've got the next size up. I've got another 10. And I've got one here that goes 12 to 14. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the feed assembly ready with the mounting bracket. So what I'll do is I'll grab 2 bolts and drop them into the feed horn holder like that. Now I'll grab the antenna, put it in the vertical position so the tubes are vertically aligned. Okay, so I'm going to put those through the holes, just like that. Now what I'll do is put my 2 fingers, I'll just show you, there you go. And you can see there's the pins that hold the feed once you slide it in and out. And I'll put the 2 bolts there. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that. Now the next thing I do is put the first articulating ring on. Just like that. Then I've got the inner articulating ring that goes on. Just like that. Then I get the L bracket and sit it on. And you can see that it sits flush. See that? If I run my finger, it's actually smooth. Okay? Hold that, and then wait a minute. Okay. So that's on. You've got to balance this if you're doing it as one person. Okay, put the next articulating ring on. just like that. Then put the 2 nylocks on. So you can leave it loose at this stage, just to get them on. Okay. Now, because they're nylocks, you don't have to use washers. If you want to use washers, you can, but nylocks will actually tighten up. Okay, so once I've got that, I just push and keep it tight. I'll put the other 2 bolts on. Okay, and then put my fingers on those, hold it up. Put the other 2 bolts on. 2 nuts. Alright, so that's ready. So now, one other thing I didn't bring, which I'm just going to go and get, is a screwdriver. Okay, so I've just got a Phillips screwdriver. So this is a medium size. Now, what we do, just put the screwdriver to the Phillips end of the feed. You can see that. And then I just use a small little ratchet. This one here is 10 mil. I can use that one, or I've got one here that's basically a lot quicker to use. I'm just going to make sure that the inner ring is sitting properly, and then you just ratchet away. Once you get one tightened in, you don't do it tight, leave it loose, but you've got to basically tighten it to a point where it's not fully secure, but it still has a bit of play, so you can move it around. Okay, so that's one. Just doing the next one. Okay, that's done. Now the next one. Okay. I think I did a little bit too tight there, so I'm just going to loosen up a fraction. Still. There we go. So I can turn that round now and get to the other nut. There we go. Now I'm just checking them on. So I might just do a couple more turns. There we go. So that's part of the mounting bracket done, and it still gives me a bit of play so I can turn it. Okay, so the next thing we do, you can see it flat, and that feed won't be higher. So the feed will actually be almost at level with the table top here. So I'll grab the U-bolt, V-block, and you can see the V's facing this way towards the U-bolt. Okay. Then you'll see our mounting bracket. Doesn't go, it goes horizontally. Just show you. It goes through like that. And then we put washers. And then the nuts. Okay, we do the same. Next, U-bolt and V-clamp. You can see it. again, horizontal. So I'll just show you what I mean by that. You see that, those two holes? So it's going across that way. Just putting the nuts on. One. Next washer. Okay. Alright, just putting the last nut on. There we are. So now, that's that part done. Now the next part is to put the feet through. So here's the feet. Okay, so we just put it through. We'll see the line, the holes, have to line up the holes there. As in, we're going to have position. If you put it perpendicular, then you won't be able to lock it in. So we're just going to put it in. There we go. Now initially when I set these up, I'll push it all the way in, just to cover the first hole, and you'll see one of the holes will appear, and I'll put the locking pin in. There we go. I won't push it in all the way, just in case I have to remove it. So, actually these ones I can remove easily, it's okay. Alright, so we put the two locking pins in. But if you still have to adjust it, put these in at the end. You can just put one in halfway. Alright, so there's your parabolic grid. One thing I forgot to put in is the rubber. So if you forget to put that in, you just quickly pull the pin out. And just guide it, slide it back out. Okay. Just be careful when you pull it out, you don't put the cable connector off. Now that you go over here. There we go. That's just your rubber plummet. Then you can put this back in. And that's just helped to reduce water ingress vibration noise. So there we go. Push that back in now. Holes come up. Okay, got that. Put the other pin in on the other side. I'm just putting them in loosely. Okay. So there's your parabolic grid antenna assembled. And you'll see there's the up. Now how this works, if I had a pole, I could rotate this there we go. So if you had the pole, which I can demonstrate with the pole later, but the pole would actually go through there, and that's how it will assemble, and it will sit like this. So see one of my other videos where we've got this same bracket and we articulate. So how this works, if I hold this bracket, I can articulate plus or minus 45. There we go. See, I've just gone plus 45. So we go minus 45. Just turn it. There you go. Minus 45. So, and the bracket's still vertical. These other parts here allow you to adjust elevation so you can go up and down. And that's the Proeye high wind heavy duty parabolic grid. Thanks for watching.